Hey downtown van. Hey downtown van.
Hey downtown van.
Hey downtown van.
Hey downtown van.
Hey downtown van.
You're listening to Hey Downtown Van, hosted by the Downtown Vancouver BIA.
Hey Downtown Van, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Sofia Laratta, and today's guest is hysterical, amazing Ola Dada. Ola is a local comedian. You may know him from Canada's Got Talent. He also recently released his own comedy special. He has his own album. He's performed at Just for Laughs Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto. He is a big rising star, and we're so happy to have him on. So let's get into the episode. All right, Ola, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. You are an icon in Vancouver.
Oh my God, I don't think so.
I think so.
Appreciate you.
You're everywhere. We're obsessed with you. So just to start off, we were talking about this a little bit off camera, but I just think it's so interesting. You moved from Nigeria to Fort McMurray at 10 years old?
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
Oh man, I guess it was aggressive to say the least. It was a huge culture shock. I don't like to use the word culture shock. It was just like, it was more of a catfish, to be honest. I can't lie to you because, you know, being in Nigeria, I had like an idea of what North America looked like. And obviously with social media, I mean, I guess the extent of social media at that time, movies and news outlets, there is a vision of what North America looked like. And this looked completely different from that. Like even the snow wasn't beautiful. It's like, you know, in movies, you see the snow falling, and it was like, ah.
Yeah.
It's like you're building a snowman. My first snowman, I tried to build it. It was like -20 outside. I'm like, bro, this is not it.
The vibe. No.
It's not the vibe
And the
at all.
snow is dirty from the roads and the cars.
You know what? Fort Mac it snows so much where it's just always fresh snow.
I love that.
It's just nonstop. Like if it got dirty, at least it means it has the opportunity to stay for a while and it hasn't snowed for a while.
True.
But there is a constant flow of snow. You get over it like very fast. Mm-hmm. It's sick for like the first maybe like 3 hours, but then it like snows like literally all day.
And you can't leave your house.
Nah.
Yeah, I feel that.
My mom like will always get mad at me because she'll go to work. I'm like, oh, you didn't shovel the snow? I'm like, I did in the morning. And it came back.
It comes back.
I honestly have to tell like I can only shovel twice a day.
Fair.
Yeah, I think that's
it's hard work.
It's like digging. You digging all day. You're out here digging out of your house. Just it's like literally, I'll go to school, foot of snow in the morning, and when I come back from school, there's another foot of snow.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I'm like, and then guess what? The moment I moved out of the crib, my parents got a snowblower.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I called my dad out on that. I'm like, Dad, what's going on here? Why did you
could have used that?
Exactly. There was like $1,000 or even it's so much money. And I'm like, Dad, so you didn't think I would need a snowblower while I was in the crib? Yeah.
They had to replace you somehow.
Yeah, exactly. My dad was like, why would I if I had you?
Exactly.
I'm like, so it sounds like you owe me money. That's what it sounds like.
That's so funny. So are your parents still in Fort McMurray?
Nah, my parents are in Calgary right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they left after the fires.
Oh, yes.
I know.
So sad.
Yeah, those fires were crazy, man.
So crazy. And it devastated the entire city.
Yeah, like half the city was like gone.
Yeah.
For a certain point. Luckily, my side of the neighborhood was good, but literally there was like a huge road that kind of splits the city in a certain area, and it just kind of engulfed everything on that side.
Goodness. That's insane.
Yeah, man. Like we get fires every year, but honestly, that one had to be like the worst one, of course. Usually to get a damper on that.
Yeah.
It went from, oh, we had got a fire, guys. If you got asthma, maybe don't be outside. To get out now.
Yeah.
Like it was so quick. My dad was also he was at work at Suncor, so it's like I don't know if east or west, but he was on the opposite direction of where he to be able to exit to go to Edmonton with my mom. I don't remember how they convened and came and met each other, but my dad, it was pretty scary for a little bit.
And you were here, so you must have been
here.
really worried about your family.
So worried. And my dad's so funny. Oh, man. Anyways, my dad was trying to go back home first to grab the TV. I'm like, Dad, we had a whole family calling that. I'm like, Dad, you need to get out of the city. He's like, I'll be fast. I'm like, they said it's not burning on that side. I'm like, you really want to risk this? I'm like, how are you going to carry the TV by yourself?
Literally.
Literally. He's like, I just bought the TV. I'm like, you You got one life, right?
Why the TV?
Oh, because he just bought. There was this thing where like there was another Nigerian family, and like it was like an unspoken thing. But I seen that my dad had this little competition with him.
Oh,
like he just got a new TV, so my dad's like, "Okay, let me." He bought like a 60-inch, and so my dad got a 72-inch. I'm just like, this is such a weird game you're playing.
That is so funny. He's like, I can't leave without this prized possession. So
Say, "Bola, go! I will catch up."
that's insane. You're like, the city is burning.
He's on fire.
Like, please. How did that switch from living in Nigeria to Fort McMurray shape how you do comedy?
Man, I think it was. I think it's what allows me to stand out the most because, like, there are very few people that have such a drastic. Because around that age of 10, it's a very like, I guess, very important part of your growth. And to go from the cultures and values of what a Nigerian. Because at that point, those cultures are starting to like solidify in me. And then I go to a place where everything I know about what culture, respect, and everything just gets like shooken up in a jar. So I guess it truly allowed me to understand where and how both cultures operate, and to be able to pick apart the differences and I guess highlight the beneficial aspect of both cultures. And you don't really have a lot of that kind of voices in stand-up comedy.
Yeah, totally. Do you ever go back to Nigeria and visit? And do you still have family over there too?
I have so many. I haven't been back in a while.
Really? Yeah.
I want to, but I think the more I meet, I guess Nigerians, the more I realize how little Nigerian I am on paper. I call it Nigerian on paper.
I don't think that's true, though.
Dude, you know what I mean? People in Nigeria try to strip me of my Nigerianness all the time.
That's so sad.
I know, they're like, you don't count. I'm like, what? Why? Like, I was there till 10. I'm like, that's a pretty long time, like,
Yeah.
But it's just, it is what it is. I try to tap in with my culture the best way that I can.
Yeah.
I understand my language like fluently, but I don't know what it is. When I try to like get it out of my mouth, it's just my mouth is just like,
I'm the same way. I'm the same way with Italian. I can literally, I like dream in Italian, and I'm like so fluent in my head, and then I can't even like.
I can even think in it. It's such a weird thing. They need to study that.
So weird. I think when you're not like speaking it, you're not practicing it. So
did you learn your language here?
Yes.
Like you always known it?
No. So my grandparents grew up speaking Italian, but my parents were told not to speak Italian because they like wouldn't do well in school. So my grandparents never spoke with them. I learned it through university.
Got it.
So it was all like writing and
in university,
audio. Yeah.
Got
so
it,
it was
got it.
less talking. But.
Yeah, I learned it through my basketball. One of my best friends.
Italian?
No, not Italian. No. Like, no, I know like one bad word and a ciao. You know what I mean? Manja.
Yes.
That means eat more, right?
Yeah, let's eat.
Yeah. I don't know why I did this too.
I mean, you got it down.
I didn't even mean to do it.
It's a habit.
Oh, what else do I know to say? Ciao bella, right?
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean again? It says hello beautiful. Boom. Fire.
So how long have you lived in Vancouver?
10 years.
It's a long time.
Oh, wow. That's wild. Yeah, 10 years.
And you were saying that you came here for school and you just never went back.
Yeah, I just never went back. I just in all disclaimer, I was in University of Calgary, and I was having way too much fun over there. I was having like, I had to be honest with myself, because like my first year of school, just complete trash. My whole origin in university was just, and honestly, I have lived a very fast 20s. I lived so fast and so furious.
I love that for you.
Now I had to chill out though. First year university, first 6 months academic probation. Anything can happen. I got it out of the dumps. But yeah, I thought nobody's gonna find out, and then they sent a letter to the crib, like Christmas Day, or close to Christmas. My mom opened up the letter. The whole time, my mom asked me, "How's school?" I'm like, "Great." She's like, "How are your grades?" "Fantastic." No one's even touching me, and I'm like, "Okay, next semester we're gonna have to buckle this up." But like, obviously, right into the final midterms, I did great because I already started to sort myself out. But I thought this was a secret I could take to the grave. But then academic probation hit, but they were like, this is what you're looking like without, your finals. But obviously I was able to pull it up, and the second semester killed it. I just learned how to party and study at the same time.
Amazing. Multitasking.
Yes, but then I realized this is not sustainable.
Yes.
Second year, I decided to just buckle down and get what I need to get done. But it was just a lot. Like I have this habit of going to a place and then I get like super. A lot of people just started to know me real fast, and then it was just super hard for me to like stay away from partying. So I thought I should move to Vancouver where nobody knows me.
But now look at you. Everybody knows you again.
I just can't stop doing it. But I moved to Vancouver. I'm like, I went all the way to Capilano in the trees. Where like, ain't nobody. There's no.
I went there too.
I'm just buckling. You want a cap?
I did. I
no
actually
way.
remember like your name because I feel like you started. I don't know if you started doing stand up at that time, but I remember you doing like things around the town, around Capilano.
Weird. I was finding myself doing the strangest. My face was on a bus at Cap. For like,
a Cap you buzz?
Yeah, the Cap you bus. I didn't even know. I was just at the lunchroom, the big cafeteria.
Yes.
It was such a random thing. And I don't even know who the person is now. Like, she was like, oh, we're looking for models. He's like, you want to do it? I'm like eating a salad. I'm like, sure. This one feels because I was black. But hey, there wasn't a lot of black people there. But
No.
she's like, you want to be on the bus? I'm like, sure.
That's
Why
so
not?
funny.
Cap's so beautiful, man.
It is beautiful. It's just in the middle of nowhere.
So I loved between the classes where you can just walk in the trees.
Yes.
Such a beautiful reset. I
It
feel
really
like
was.
get ruined by a midterm or whatever. You just go outside, get that fresh air. You're like, everything is going to be okay. And then you just go into another stressful point in your life.
Yep.
What did you take at Cap?
Tourism management.
Right on.
Which was really cool. It was like a business degree. And it helped me a lot in this
Yeah.
job too. What did you take?
Accounting. I know. This is outrageous. I'm great with numbers.
Really?
Yes.
I love that for
Dyslexic,
you.
but I'm great with numbers.
Interesting. So your whole life's goal was to be an accountant at
Well,
first.
no. I honestly never knew what I wanted to do with myself.
Yeah.
I just knew I was good at talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew I had no problems talking to large groups of people. I mean, I was scared of it, but I was still able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also good with numbers. So I just kind of like went into that route. I actually was, I got into University of Calgary for engineering.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I switched that like real quick times before I got in because the academic advisor I was talking to told me if I wasn't sure if I wanted to do engineering, it's probably best I just go into arts and then sort it out, which is the worst advice
Yeah.
anyone could have given. I could not believe that's something that you told someone in grade 12 because I was like, amazing, great. I could just chill out my first year.
Yeah.
Because I just thought it was just going to be easy to just switch out. I didn't know how drastic it was, how studying and everything was just a little bit, obviously it's just a little bit harder in university. But yeah, switching into arts my first semester. And then I was like, okay, well, this is crazy. I'm not going to go into engineering. I don't want that. And then my second year, that's how I got into business. I got into business school. And then I went to Capilano to continue business.
And why did you come here? Did you just want to get out of Calgary?
I just needed to get out of there. There's a lot of distractions for me. And I wanted to make sure I buckled down and finished my degree. And I didn't think I could do that in Calgary because just like I had too many friends just like, hey, come do this. And then like it's easier for me personally, like I will try and make all of it work. And I find myself, getting burnt. It's my second year. I found myself burnt out.
Yeah.
Because I still had the grades, but I was also going out with my friends at the same time. And that for me was like, I had both going, but I was so exhausted, to be honest. I came back home in the summer. And honestly, when I decided to leave, I didn't even tell any of my homies. It was actually pretty crazy because like school was done and like I was already looking at universities at the beginning of the year anyways. And I was just playing with the idea and I, did all the things I needed to do and I just dipped. Didn't even, because I didn't even tell nobody because third year rolled around in Calgary and people were like, yo, Ola, where you at? I'm like, bruh, I moved to BC.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
I bounced, man.
So what got you into comedy then?
I think it was more of like a natural thing. Because even like in Calgary, I was with the student union, and anytime there was any sort of event, I was already hosting stuff. Because for some reason, ain't nobody ever wanted to talk, and they're like, "Oh, you're funny. You should grab the microphone." And I was always shy, but I never said no because I looked at everybody else. They seemed way more afraid about it than I did. So I was already hosting things before I even started stand up. But what I think it's hard to say what got me into stand up because like it feels like kind of a natural trend towards it. I guess the first night I did start stand up, I guess, was I was out with some friends, and again, there's a show, an open mic, and we had some time to kill before we went to the club. And my friends were just like, "Oh, you gotta do this, man. You're so good." And I just feel like I always get bullied into it. But like, I mean, I don't say no, but they're like, "Yo, you gotta do this." And then I went up stage and I just kind of roasted my homies. And the booker at the venue thought I was a comic from like Calgary or whatever, because she's
Wow.
never seen me. Because bookers tend to know who does stand up for the most part, especially in the general area. She just knew she thought I was probably a comic visiting or whatever, and then she tried to book me, asked me how long I was in town for, and I told her I just moved there. So she thought that I was a comic from a different place that just moved to the city, and she booked me for the following week, and I brought my friends again, and I made fun of them. And in her mind, she's like, "Oh, okay, he's, kind of a funny guy, personable, charming. I will book you next time." And I'm like, "Awesome." And then she didn't like book me for another 6 months, but I didn't do stand up in between that time. Then the third time, that was bad. My friends didn't come. I was
Oh, and you're like, now what do I make fun of?
what do I gotta do now? And then I started watching videos. Oh, I'll never forget. I went on YouTube. I was like, how to write jokes or whatever, because I'm like, damn, this is like a thing now. Because like. I mean, like with my homies there, it was fun. Like, and they were like, it was a small room too, nothing crazy. There was like maybe 40 people in the room. I had like 15, 20 of my homies. So it was like easy to like demand the audience,
Yeah.
and they'll support and everything. But like, this was different because I didn't know anybody in this room at this time. At least I didn't think anybody was coming. And I went on YouTube to try to learn how to be a stand-up comedian, bro. And the first thing this guy says, understand that you're gonna bomb, and it's okay to bomb. I'm like, I didn't come here for that. I didn't come here to bomb. I'm coming here to you to give me advice to succeed. You tell me I'm gonna fail? Nah, delete.
Yeah.
Went to another video. And then at the end of that, I don't know. I was just trying to piece together stuff that I thought was funny to happen that week. I didn't do great, but I didn't bomb, and I was like, I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
It wasn't dead silence. I got like a couple chuckles here and there, and I'm like, I can live with that.
That's so funny. So you literally just stumbled upon stand up, and now here you are.
It was a pizza shop too, so like it's not like we even planned to go to the open mic.
That's
We wanted to get some food, and there are just people. We heard people laughing. Like this is like my first time at a stand up, like a comedy club. Like I've watched comedy shows before on like TV. But I've never, for some weird reason, my brain never pieced together, oh yeah, it happens live, and then you record it, and then you put it out. My brain just never thought about going to a comedy club. And like prior to this, like stand-up wasn't even on my radar at all. I'm going to school for accounting and everything. I'm working at the bank, just got a job at my bank and everything. Like my whole career is aligned towards like the financial sector and everything. So like it wasn't even on my radar at all. Hear people laughing. I poke my head. I'm like, yo, I think there's a comedy show downstairs. And then we got pizza anyway. So we're like, let's go eat it here. So because we were just gonna eat the pizza on the walk to Granville.
Yeah.
That was the move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, why we walking, why we eat the pizza? Let's just, pop down, see what's going on. And also the lady, Susie Rossum, shout out to her. She put me on, and forever grateful for that. Usually they don't let randos just walk on stage. Okay, so the only reason she let us go on stage is because she got all of us to pay, including me, to pay money. Smart business move on our part. It's like 15, 20 people. I think it was $15 a ticket. So that's solid bread right there.
100%.
You know what I mean? So she's like, why not? Just give this 3-4 minutes, and then I happen to do okay. And she's like, oh, okay, come back.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was bad. It was mad moves, man. And I can't, till this day, I still can't believe that's how it all started.
Yeah, that's a hilarious story. Like your life has completely changed from what you thought like you wanted to do. So we were kind of talking about this earlier too, and you were saying that you can kind of like tell when the audience is snapping in and out of the moment. You have said that your material comes from being present. Can you just walk us through what that means to you?
You know what? I find that whatever I think is funny, like being present, I guess like just trying to explain why I think something's funny. I almost look at stand-up comedy as a sort of, not debate, or convincing or whatever. I think something's funny, and I'm like, okay, here's why it's funny. Do you agree or do you not agree? And that's basically how at least stand up works for me, right? Like, you know, something as inconspicuous as me like slipping downtown Vancouver is one of my favorite bits to tell, because in those moments, I think my ADHD helps me in terms of like, I actually have ADHD, first of all. I'm not just tossing it around like everybody else. I don't know why I look at the camera. It's just a personal attack. I just let them know, hey, listen, this is not TikTok diagnosed, all right? I got the real deal. Yeah, I think it's one of my strengths in terms of like how my brain works, where the joke started off as me literally, I fell flat on my ass outside. It was one of those rainy days. You know, I'm looking fresh. Like, it's nothing worse than looking, does that even happen to anybody? Like, I took the Uber to a local, I can't remember, I think I was going to a show, and thank God I didn't have my backpack on, because like, bruh. But anyways, I slipped, and I literally just laid there for like a second, because I'm just like, damn, man, that one hurt. And the crazy part about Vancouver is nobody stopped.
No, never.
Bro, everybody just walked past me, and I thought it was so funny. I laughed so hard. I'm like, bro, like, I'm the kind of guy that would probably stop and check in.
Yeah.
But I laid there for a second, and you know,
oh, it's so devastating.
You know, it's downtown. You know, you got the downtown people outside. I said it looked like my first day downtown.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. I laid there, nobody stopped, and I got up. I laughed so hard at the comedy show. I just thought it was just such a real and like funny moment about life, because I think there were moments in my life where me slipping like that would have probably ruined my day. Where I'm just like, damn, you know, it's raining and I slipped, blah, 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 you know? Like, I just had like a very funny approach to it, because I'm just like, what would have happened if I was a woman and fell? I think society would have been, it would be like, oh my God, no, what happened? And I'm like, as a dude, if you slip and fall, you know what happens? Absolutely
pick
nothing.
Yourself up.
You pick yourself, be a man, stand up. I guess being present in that moment and like really assessing what was going on around me. And I guess if I was, in my feelings about whatever was going on throughout the day, I would have missed that opportunity to find the funny in that moment, right? Because I would have carried on the frustration from elsewhere and felt like somehow this moment related back to that frustration as a continuation of what was going on, as opposed to like taking that moment for what it was. Yeah. And, you know, assessing that moment for what it is and realizing, okay, this is not great, but this is why I think this is funny.
I love that. It's very human of you. And like, I just feel like people really relate to relatable content and comedy. So that's really funny. So you've performed at Just for Laughs and Sirius XM Top Comic. What has been your biggest pinch me moment so far?
Man, I think I go through moments where I think I have a few, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think opening for Roy Woods Jr., that was wild.
Oh, that's cool.
That was really cool, because I grew up watching him. Opening up for Godfrey, that was crazy. Because he was like my second introduction to stand-up. No, actually, I would say my first, but I didn't know he was a stand-up at the time, because I watched this movie called Soul Plane, and I was a big fan of Kevin Hart at the time, and I remember watching that scene with Godfrey, and he had this like Nigerian accent that just ruined me. And I was in Fort Mac watching all of this, so I was just like, I was such a big fan. So I stayed a fan after that, because I actually looked up each actor in the movie, and I realized, oh, okay, these guys are stand-ups, right? But then for some reason, I only tapped in with Kevin Hart and Godfrey at the time. So opening up for Godfrey, that was huge for me, because I was like right before Sirius XM, and I was such a fan, and he was just so dope.
Crazy.
Because I wasn't even supposed to be on the show, and I was just kicking it with him. And actually, I just got this thing called a fast track for Yuck Yucks, so it meant I got an opportunity to open for people coming through the city at that location only.
Okay.
And usually Godfrey doesn't want an opener. He usually doesn't want an opener. So that was the one weekend where I wasn't even supposed to be there, and I'm just like, hey, I'm not going to miss Godfrey. I'm at least just going to check out his set. Wow. And I stayed the whole weekend watching him do his thing. And I think the last show, he was like, hey, yo, you go up, you know? And I'm like, what? Me? Who, me? And he let me go up. I did my thing. And honestly, I don't even know if he was watching, but I did my thing, and it didn't matter. I know. I was just excited to be on the show as Godfrey. And then he came back, and he's kind of like tapped in with me every few times while he's back, and I try to, go perform for him. But that moment was huge for me. and I think hanging out with comics that I've grown up watching on TV, those have been like really super cool for me. Or even like just the past couple of years I've seen in different projects like Andrew Santino. Big fan of him as well too, and I got a chance to work with him as well too.
Amazing.
Those moments for me are very, very surreal. Because I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm really doing this with these people over here. And I would say doing the Junos. I hosted the Junos comedy show.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
this year.
Wow, and that was huge to me because I remember starting out in stand-up when I took it very seriously, and the people I was hosting for. Shout out to Nathan McIntosh, Ivan Decker, Jess Solomon, and also Courtney Gilmore. And the winner was Deb Giovanni. Oh my God, Deb D Giovanni. Yes. Shout out to those guys. They're all amazing. They're all the headlining pros I looked up to when I first started, and to be called to host the Juno Award-winning spot for the comedy show only, obviously. That for me was very huge, and I'm like, bro, those were the dudes I like before I started this. 9 years ago now. Those were the guys killing it then, and you're still killing it now. That for me was huge. I'm like, damn, I can't believe my name was in the conversation. That who should we have to host? And then mine popped up. So that was big for me, at least in a local sense. Now, these guys are so international. I call it local because most of these guys, they kicked it and started in Canada. So,
which is so cool.
So cool.
What was it like being on a reality TV show like Canada's Got Talent?
It was unreal.
Was it?
Just the whole thing just felt like a whole movie. And like from the beginning of that stuff, because they hit me up during quarantine, and at that moment
they reached out to you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I almost messed that up.
Really?
Yeah. During that moment, I was at my lowest because things were going great for stand-up, and I was supposed to be in the JFL Montreal thing, Just for Laugh Montreal, and record my first special. Things were looking up, and the whole world just shut down. And like in the space of art, like the art space, we understand how important momentum is. Yeah. And it felt like my time was being stolen away from me, and I didn't think anything would be able to I was supposed to get that then, but who's gonna remember I'm supposed to get it again? I'm not gonna be messaging them. I'm like, guys, remember I was supposed to,
Yeah.
So I just made my peace with like, I'm not gonna get to do this. So, and stand-up wasn't even a thing. I guess stand-up wasn't happening at this time.
Yeah.
Everything was on video, like the Zoom video comedy shows or whatever.
It's not as fun.
It's not as fun, but I kept doing them, and honestly, they hit me up around that time.
Cool.
And things were about to open up, but things weren't fully opened up yet. So there was like a whole year process before we even got to shooting. The first time they hit me up, I got an email, and I'm like, you're not gonna scam me. You know what I mean? I thought it was a scam email. I'm like, there's no way this is real. You're gonna send me an email?
Surreal.
Like, and then at that time I checked the page. I'm like, okay, if this is real, they should probably have a social media page. And plus, I've never heard of Canada's Got Talent. Like, we don't have that show. I checked it. I'm like, this does not exist. I didn't think it was real. And I literally let it sit almost like a month, like 3 weeks or so. And whoever, God bless that person that was the talent agent, she circled back on me. And she was like, hey, we would really love to have you at least audition if you'd like to. If she didn't circle back on me, I would never have been there. Actually, there's 2 moments that, but anyways. She circled back, and I went to go check the page a second time. And at this point, there was like over 20,000 followers. Wow. I'm like, whoa, okay. This feels legit. Yeah. I responded back, but still with caution. Responded back. I'm like, hey, I would love to do this, and what can I do if I want to do this? She's like, go to this website. And I went to that website. I'm like, okay, this looks legit. Okay, I don't have to click a link. But I submitted, and I didn't hear anything back for like 6 months.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right.
It was a scam.
I know. I was like, oh, she got me. But I'm like, wait. And then I started looking at my phone. I'm like, but they don't take nobody took no money. But then I'm like, okay, I submitted. I didn't hear nothing back. And then I did another submission again because they wanted like, I don't remember what, but I remember what I had to do. And then again, I didn't hear for like another 2. I'm just like, bro, what is this, man? This sucks. Just keeps getting my hopes up and everything. But anyways, it all panned out and folded through. And next thing I know, they're like, hey, we'd love to have you come audition. And they flew me across the country to come audition. And my God, guys, I missed my flight.
No.
Yes, they don't even know this. But was crazy. I was so anxious. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep at all. So like my wife, she was already asleep. She was coming with me. And I was packed and everything ready to go. My flight was at 6 a.m. So I need to be at the airport like 4, 4 at the latest.
Yeah.
And I slept. I did not sleep at all night. So around like 3:30, I was really ready to go. I have everything packed. I've already showered. And I'm like, there's nothing I'm forgetting. I'm like, you know what? Let me just sit down for a second because there was nothing left for me to do.
Yeah.
But call the Uber to go. And it was around like, I think 3:30. So all I had to do was, I couldn't go to the airport that early because it was super close to my crib. So I'm like, okay, I'll just sit down for 30 minutes and watching TV and I'll call the Uber at this time. I sit down for literally, I don't even remember falling asleep. I just remember sitting down, wake up, it's like 5 o'clock. I'm like, wow. I'm stressing out. The Uber arrives super quick, thank the Lord. We get into the Uber, we're rushing, and till this day, I will never forget this lady, this Air Canada lady, so mean, for no reason. 5 o'clock, I could still possibly have made it, And we get there, she's like, there's no way you're going to make it. There was a lineup, so we got there like 5:15. Okay. There's a lineup and it moved pretty quickly. And she's like, the gate already open. People already lined up. I'm like, lady, we can still make it. And as we were talking, I'm watching security line starts to build. She said, look at the security. It's like she didn't want me to go.
Yeah.
For some weird reason. She literally killed like 10, 15 minutes there.
That's so weird.
It was strange. And at the end of it, I looked at them like, we're not going to be able to make it now. My timing might be a little bit, I can't remember what it was, but I think we might have had less time, but it was like pretty tight for the rush. Flight was leaving exactly at 6.
Was it leaving? Oh, but you got there at 5:15.
My timing might be wrong, but I just remember the time very slim. It was tight, and if she gave me a chance, there was a possibility I could make it, but she spent so much time trying to convince me I wanted that we couldn't make it. And she's like, listen, I can get you on another flight today. I'm like, how much is that going to run me? Lady looked me dead in the eyes and was like, yo, $1,200. I'm like, lady, tell me you don't want me to go. Just say you don't want me to go.
Literally, you're stomping on my hopes and dreams.
Of course, I told her I was going to do Canada's Got Talent. Not a care in the world. I know it's not a problem, but I'm like, why are we doing this? Just at least let me try and then come back and have to buy the ticket, But the lady beside me, Jem, she heard what I was going through. She's like, hey, honey. I'm like,
yes.
Homie. She's like, you guys come over here. Such a nice lady. Till this day, she found us another flight that was leaving at 7 p.m. free of charge.
She was looking out for you.
That was an angel.
An actual angel.
For real. Like, the devil was right there.
Yes.
And God pulled up, was like, nah, yo, you going to Canada's Got Talent.
It
was so crazy.
I cannot comprehend why she was trying to hold you back so bad.
Till this day, I still don't understand. Because, I'm like, why are you doing this to us?
Yeah.
It's a light thing. You don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is just let me go.
Literally. And if I miss my flight, that's my problem.
I miss my flight.
Yeah.
I'll come back, I'll hit you with that 12. You know what I mean?
Literally.
If anything, I'll be more desperate to pay that. You know what I'm saying? And I was kicking my butt the whole time. I'm just like, yo, how could I have slept? Aww. When did I, leading up to this, I was so, stressed out about the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I can yap about this for forever, but the whole experience was just, it was surreal, man. And, going back to do the semifinals, they flew my family over there.
Wow.
And I didn't know they were supposed to be there.
Aww.
They didn't tell me. They put them in a Verbo. It's called Verbo, right? Yeah. And I walk into the house. I thought it was just supposed to be me and Chelsea. And I'm walking to this crib, and I'm like, this is a little much for me and Chelsea. I mean, how many rooms does this house have? Why is this house so big?
Like 3 stories.
Yeah. I pull up, I'm like, hey, this is their budget.
Yeah.
This is sick. This is a lot, but thank you. I walk in, and my mom is like, hola.
Oh.
I was like, my dad was like, can you not at least look happy first?
Are you not excited for me at all?
I was just thrown off. I'm like, what are you guys doing here?
Oh my God.
Yeah, they flew my brother, my mom, and even my aunt too. They flew everybody.
Oh wow,
yeah, it
that's
was super
so
cool.
nice.
I walk into the house like, surprise!
Did they film that?
They filmed it, yeah. I was so shocked. I'm a very internal person with surprises. So people get they tend to get let down when they see my reaction.
Because you're so chill about it.
I'm too chill about it. It almost feels like I don't care.
Yeah.
But it sucks. So my wife, she gets so mad at me sometimes. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is all I got. I'm like, if something crazy happens, I'm like, I'm like, damn.
Oh, that's so funny.
On the inside though, I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
that's
But then
all that
I don't know
matters.
how to like.
Social
yeah.
anxiety, perhaps.
No, actually, I couldn't. I'm very not socially anxious.
I love that
at
for you.
all.
I mean,
but-
you're a comedian.
Yeah, I don't know. My personality on stage, I guess it's like a exaggerated version of me. Like I'm very out there with my body, but then like in real life, when things get real, I'm just like, damn.
Maybe it's because you're just like putting so much of yourself when you're working that in real life you feel like you can be more
I think so.
internal.
I became more introverted when I started stand up. Yeah, because I think it's the energy conservation thing.
Yeah.
Because especially when I'm talking on stage for like 45 minutes, it's
Yeah.
just like, yo,
Yeah.
I gotta whoo-hoo,
Yeah, you
gotta
gotta
chill.
100%. What is the toughest part of being a comedian?
Oh my Lord. You know what? At different points in times in my career, that answer would have been different. Right now, it's being away from my wife.
Oh, yeah.
I love traveling, and I love that she's a full-time nurse and a DJ, and she got a full career going on. And there's a lot of moments where I'm like, baby, let's hit the road together. And she's like, I can't. I'm
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to hear her say that, but you know, I don't want to take her away from her calling and her career and stuff like that. So I tend to sometimes she'll come with me, but for the most part, I tend to have to go to a lot of places by myself.
Yeah.
And I love traveling. So again, I love going to these places, but I miss her a lot.
Totally.
And it's sometimes very tough on our relationship, to be honest.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So I really enjoy traveling, but I really enjoy traveling more with her.
Yeah. And you want your like partner to be there supporting you too sometimes.
Yeah.
So I get that. We literally all the time at the office, like we'll be like, Chelsea's just so cool. Like, did you know she's a nurse and a DJ?
So chill, man.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
It's so
I can't
cool.
even believe how she does it, man. It's like such a different. I've never met anybody who does that, and
No.
I'm like, that's really cool.
Well, especially because being a nurse is so hard.
There's no like, you know how some work you can just get a chill day.
Yeah.
There's no chill days.
No.
Like people always need help, you know.
Yeah.
Like you can't just show up and today's a write off. You know, so power to anybody in the medical field,
Yeah.
because like that's a lot of mental and physical strength that you have to have every day, and then after that you still have to have space and energy for people around you after, like, you know, using that much energy in the hospital, right? So
Yeah.
it's a real thankless job for like.
Yes.
Society cared about nurses doing quarantines with the pots and pans.
Everyone clapping.
You know, but
Yeah.
then after that, there's been no pots and pans,
Yeah,
right?
true.
So, honestly, it's a real godsend career where like,
It is.
you have to be chosen to do that, because you can't. If it's just about money, nobody's just gonna do that, because I don't think there's enough money to pay you to deal with all that trauma every day.
No.
So
If there's one thing about me, I can never be a nurse. I can never be a comedian.
never.
You both have very challenging jobs.
I think you can be a comedian.
I don't think
It's
I
much
could.
easier than being a nurse.
Fair.
It's like
My
it's-
job is way easier than being a nurse too.
Yeah.
But I am not funny enough, and I'm also afraid of being on stage.
That's fair. Just close your eyes. Just, you know, wear some sunglasses. Tell everybody you're blind. Nobody's gonna ask you questions.
Stop. The woman that just closes her eyes on stage all the time. So your story is so interesting of how you stumbled upon literally being
Yeah.
a comedian. What advice would you give young comics trying to be in this space?
Fall in love with the craft. Fall in love with stand-up comedy, and don't find validation of yourself through the successes you make throughout the years, because those moments are very fleeting. Be present in each and every victory, with whatever results come out of those victories. Enjoy those moments, because those moments are that moment, and they will pass, and the next thing will come. Your friend's success or your success, and your timing is different from everybody's timing. Everybody has their moment in the sun. Yours might come earlier, yours might come later, but your time in the sun will come, as long as you're consistent and honest with yourself.
Do you feel that social media can help propel someone's
Absolutely.
career?
It could definitely help propel. Without a doubt, because I think stand-up is at an interesting spot where, like, there used to be a sort of structure of how things worked, at least from my understanding of what stand-up has looked like. Even in the process of me being in stand-up, it's changed because somebody can just go online, turn on the camera, and all of a sudden their content, boom, sparks them into the public eye, and now they can do tours with their fan base, and they don't necessarily need the infrastructure of a comedy club and cutting their teeth.
Yeah.
They are becoming better in that space. They just, boom, fame, theaters. That's it.
Yeah.
It kind of bypasses that. But the thing with stand-up is with social media, you still have to have been putting that consistent energy of building that fan base over years. So the work may look different, but it's still the same work that needs to be put in. Because back in the day, it was just like you're in a club for like 10 years and then you blow up. Now it's like you could have been doing social media for 10 years and then you blow up and then you can go into the club, and that just allows you to pivot wherever you want. But social media is such a essential tool for stand-up nowadays.
Yeah. So you have some really cool things coming up.
Yes.
You released unlimited data and data plan. What is next?
What is next? Ooh, I'm currently on tour called Ola Dada Coming to America. Sorry. And I'm hitting a bunch of cities in the United States for the first time.
Wow.
So I'm very excited. I'm going to be headlining a spot in Dallas, and I'm going to be performing in New York 2 weeks from now in the Halifax Comedy Festival. There's a lot of stuff, so please stay tapped in with me. Vancouver, please come to my show.
Yes.
June 21st. That's my only show till next year. So if you don't catch me now, I'm not going to be here for a while.
Yeah, everyone.
And recording my special, releasing it now, February 20th, 2026.
Woohoo!
My next special's coming. Well, recording my next special.
And
so.
that's a big one, right? You have
Yes.
some pretty big partners on there.
Yes, I do.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Ola, is there anything that I did not ask you that you're like, why didn't she ask me? I want to talk about this.
Oh, no. I'm trying to think. You're pretty good with the questions, so.
Thank you.
Who's my favorite comedian?
Who is your favorite comedian?
Me.
Period. And that is why you're probably who you are today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just kidding. That's a heated statement. No, but on the real though, it's hard to answer that question. I have like a lot of favorite comedians where I like kind of pull from. I tend to focus a lot more on like local shows now, local comics as inspirations, because I'm just like, hey, I can watch you right here. Like I said, Ivan Decker, big fan of him as well too. Simon King, big fan as well too. These are people who started their I guess stand-up venture here. Big fan of Andrew Packer, Nima Naz. These are all Canadian comics. Shout out to those guys as well too. I'm trying to think of anybody. Hassan Fields, big fan. Sean McDonald. Those are the people I wanted to spotlight on the pod before I got out here. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's very nice.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they are very fond of you as well.
Yes.
Amazing.
Hopefully.
I'm sure. Well, Ola, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for allowing me to talk about myself.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's the whole point. Well, see you soon.
July?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks so
you.
much. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to Hey Downtown Van. We really hope you enjoyed today's episode with Ola Dada. If you want to learn more about our organization and all that we do, you can visit our website, dtvan.ca. And if you want to keep up with the podcast, you can follow us on social at Hey Downtown Van.